This lesson is over solving multiplication and division equations. The goal is to solve a one-step equation involving multiplication and division. Vocab, inverse operations, just like the previous lesson. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. We undo multiplication by dividing. And then conversely, the inverse operation of division is multiplication. Okay, it's just like the addition and subtraction lesson, but with different operations, but the same concepts. So, division property of equality, dividing each side of an equation by the same number produces an equivalent equation. And then get this out of the way. Multiplication property of equality, multiplying each side of an equation by the same number produces an equivalent equation. Again, it's going to be a lot like yesterday or the previous lesson where you guys may know how to do this stuff mentally. I want you following the process. This will become really important the further we get into equations, and we are going to be going further. Let's start with some multiplication examples. So we're going to start off with multiplication problems. Negative 8x equals negative 96. The step needed to solve the equation. Well, we're going to undo multiplication by dividing. And we're going to divide both sides by the same number. And again, our goal is to get the x by itself. So to do that, we divide by the coefficient. See, by doing that, negative 8 divided by 8 equals 1. Well, 1x is just x, so if you guys want to write the 1 there, you can. No need for it, though. Negative 96 divided by negative 8 is 12. So pretty simple process, just divide by the coefficient. Now it gets a little tricky when we involve fractions. So we have 1/2 x equals negative 8. So our step's the same. We're going to divide each side by the coefficient, divide by 1/2. And we should know to divide fractions, we have to multiply by the reciprocal, or by the flip. Reciprocal is a mathematical term for it, but you guys may know it more as flip, or just flip that fraction. So, so up here, instead of dividing by 1/2, we really multiply by 2/1. If you guys want, go ahead and put a 1 under here. It doesn't change the value at all. See, that by doing this, we've eliminated the coefficient. And negative 8 times 2 is negative 16. And there's the answer. Half of negative 16 is negative 8. And finally, another fraction problem. 2/3 x equals 18. Let's repeat our process by multiplying each side by that flip, which cross cancel, factor out the 2 and 3, left with x. And here, if you have to put the 1, we can factor out the 2 and 18, we can factor out 2, so we have 9 here and 1 here. And 9 times 3 is 27. X equals 27. Moving on to division problems. You're going to see them a lot like this, boys and girls. And remember, fraction bar just means division. So this is really saying x divided by 3 equals negative 16. So what number divided by 3 is negative 16? Well, the opposite of division is multiplying. So we're going to multiply both sides by 3, or if it helps you guys, make it 3/1. So the 3's factor out. We're left with x/1, which is just going to be x. Negative 16 times 3 equals negative 48. X divided by negative 8 equals negative 4. So again, we want to undo the division by multiplying. So we're just going to multiply both sides by negative 8, or if it helps you guys, make it negative 8/1. Obviously, you need to do it here. We allow no fractions involved. So we've got the constants on. X/1 is just x. Negative 4 times negative 8 is positive 32. And I am including lots of negatives in this lesson for a reason. We're going to know our negatives. Now for the next slide, we've got 3 problems for you to try on your own. So pause the video, give them a shot. Negative 6x equals 96. We're going to divide both sides by the coefficient. X equals negative 16. Negative 4 sevenths x equals 21. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this so I have some room to work. We're going to do this by multiplying both sides by the reciprocal. So we factor out 7s, factor out the 4s, left with x. And we have kind of a big number here, 21 times negative 7. I didn't write this one correctly, but it's okay. Nothing wrong with the fraction answer. Negative 147 over 4. And then finally, we've got negative x over 5 equals 16. So we're just multiply by the reciprocal, or by, I'm sorry, by the, we're dividing by. Multiply both sides by negative 5. Factors out. We're left with x equals negative 80. So the point is here, no matter what the numbers are, fractions, negatives, whatever, process remains the same. Follow the process. Do not do this all mentally. Get used to writing this stuff down. This concludes your lesson over multiplying and dividing in equations.